Hi, this is Cliff. Today I'm at the Rancho West Camporee in April of 2013. We're near the lake of Concow. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about camera equipment that you kind of need at Philmont. And I say need because this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You really need to have some kind of photographic record of what's going on. And nowadays you really need video. Pictures are great, you can have a little slideshow and such, but you do need video, and it's really easy to do this now. It costs next to nothing except for the original outlay of equipment, but after that, and then it makes a lot of fun. We're just going to go through some of the things that you need. The big camera that everybody's using now is a DSLR. The only problem with that is they don't really make one that is light enough to take it film on. Nikon and Sony, I think, makes a small version of them, but they're still kind of heavy. You can take cameras, and they do make a lot of cameras. This is a little waterproof Nikon. I'll have a close-up picture that'll come over this. And it's a nice little camera, and it's high def. The only thing that's kind of lacking on it is you don't have any zoom capabilities to speak of. It's really lightweight. I think the zoom on this one is only 5. It's a zoom of 5. So most of the time I take a camcorder, and they're getting harder and harder to find. There's less and less of them out there. The main reason people don't use them nowadays is they are a little bit heavier, but also they have a smaller sensor to save some of that size. But at Philmont, if you get a decent high def one, you're going to be okay. This one is a little Panasonic. I have 3 or 4 different kinds, but this is a little Panasonic HDC SD40. It's about a year old. It's one of the lightest they make, and you can buy batteries. If you buy the batteries for it in the name brand stores, they're like 40, 60 bucks. But if you go to a couple of websites where you can get it, I think one is batteries.com, you can get them for sometimes $12. Then you can get a little charger that so you don't have to haul that big one around for another 6 or 8 bucks. So it's possible to take a nice little camcorder and some batteries. Some people bring those little solar chargers, and those are fine, but we have a little solar charger, a really lightweight one. It weighs 6 ounces, and it weighs as much as 3 4-hour batteries for this camera. So for the same weight, I can take 12 hours worth of battery for the same weight as a charger. So I don't really consider it worth that. You have a little outlay for the batteries, but a charger is about 100 bucks too. So anyway, what's nice about the camcorders is they have more zoom. This one here is a I think it's almost 17 zoom versus 5 on the little camera. They make some that go all the way up to 60 times. With that, you really need a tripod, and just about all of them you need a tripod if you're going to zoom in and out at all. Some hints on that: don't overuse the zoom. A lot of people, a lot of their videos is in and out all the time. Try to steer clear of that. If you do zoom in, you can do a cut at that time and get rid of that zooming part, so it just is you're out, and then all of a sudden you're in. As far as tripods, you need some kind of stabilizing device, and I have a hiking staff that has the little bolt on the top that is covered up. Those are hard to find. You can only find those in single poles. You can go a different route with these are little mini pods. They make all different kinds. Gorilla makes one with the little things that wrap around things, and those are great. This one is really nice. It's really lightweight. It has Velcro on it. So you could put it on the side of something and put the Velcro around it on a small tree or the post at the end of the trail. I use it a lot, and maybe I'll put some little postings of the videos I've done with this thing. It makes a really neat shot if you go close to the ground and kind of shoot up a hill. I did it a lot when I was shooting wildflowers this last spring. It is a little tripod, and it will hold the weight. You just have to be careful with it. Sometimes when I'm shooting, I'll put my foot on one corner of it so it doesn't tip over. But it's up to you. You can. I've seen one that kind of looks like a gorilla pod, except that on each leg there's a super magnet. And I've brought those if I know that we're going to run across a metal bridge somewhere on the trail, and they just click right on that metal bridge, or hoods on cars. Don't drive with it on there, but it is a good tripod. If you're near a car, you can just put it right on the car. Okay. As far as what we're taking, we'll probably have 3 or 4 video cameras. Personally, I'm taking 2. We got the little Panasonic that I just showed you, and then I have a GoPro, a small one, and just a few accessories for that. We'll be using that to put on helmets, like at pole climbing and such, or the mine tours. You can also put them on other things. We have a little one that they can put on their head, so when we go up to Tooth of Time, we'll record that whole hike and then play it fast forward. The Panasonic, that little Nikon will be in my pocket most of the time because it is waterproof. And if they aren't waterproof, you need to put them in Ziploc, maybe double Ziploc bags, to make sure they stay nice and watertight. Take a few extra cards and keep track of those cards. And keep track of the batteries. You might have to mark them. And you shouldn't need a charger, 2 or 3 extra batteries, and you're on your way. And I'll talk a little bit more about some things you can do. Just remember that try to do some B-rolls, a lot of B-roll shots, and mix that up in stuff. Instead of your shot being 10 minutes like of the pole climbing, sure, we'll shoot the whole 10 minutes, and we'll probably do a picture-in-picture with the other thing, the camera on his helmet. But then you do B-roll shots. You would have pictures of the donkey, the guy that's belaying him, have him shot. Shoot a few seconds of him. Shoot some pictures of the guys sitting on the logs around it and all looking up. And if you do, and to make it funny, if you do a burrow packing, try to get a couple of shots of your burrow looking up, and maybe that'd be a cool shot to throw in there for your pole climbing or anything else, or some goofy look from horses, just as a little variety. Shots of meadows and walking along, and boots, people hiking, so some low shots of the boots. A really nice shot is if you're walking along and your shadow goes off into the distance. If you can hike along so you record your shadow off in the distance, that makes a nice little segue or a tidal slide or a tidal clip in some of your other stuff. Great stuff at Philmont. But remember that B-roll. Mix it up. Have a good time. And you'll have a great trek. And you'll have something that you can remember the rest of your life. Physically. And it'll straighten out those arguments in the future when you start forgetting stuff. You can look at that video. This is Cliff.
Happy to serve ropes.